Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to A Better Life Together's Wednesday webinar series. We are so excited to have back with us again Union of Pan Asian Communities, also known as UPAC. The mission of UPAC San Diego is to improve the general well being and education of the Asian Pacific Islander and other ethnic communities of San Diego County. Today, we are going to have an overview of services from Dominic de los Reyes. And just to tell you a little bit about the Bridge Project and what it is that we do, the Bridge Project, Bridge stands for Bridging Resources into Diverse Groups Everywhere. This project is a federally funded project to educate refugee and other minority communities on available services. And our goal of the Equity and Access team at A Better Life Together is to bridge those resources again into diverse groups everywhere. So our task with this project that is funded by DDS is to walk you through the doorway to support services with the San Diego Regional Center. And we are here to help you through the intake process. We are here to connect you with awesome organizations in San Diego County and beyond, just like UPAC. So again, we are super excited to have with us again today, Dominic de los Reyes. If we could just do a quick COVID clap, that means don't let this hand touch this hand. And let's just wave them. That's our welcome. There's going to be a time for a Q&A at the end. If you have burning questions, please just add them to the chat and we will read those first when we get to the Q&A portion. So again, welcome, Dominic. Wonderful to have you again.
Yes, thank you so much. Good morning. Hi, everyone. It's also just so great what you, Melissa, and the rest of your team do with Bridge Project and A Better Life Together. We're also all about connecting people to resources and removing those barriers to access. So it's just great that we get to work together and provide all these opportunities to county residents. Yeah, so excited to be back. And I'm actually here with my colleague, Rory, here. We're in the same room, and so we're sharing the audio. Um, let's see, since we have last been on, our program has been growing a bit. Our name is Union of Pan Asian Communities, but of course we serve everyone um, in San Diego County. And this is just is that a good look on the screen? Okay, cool. And yeah, we do a lot of things, right? So just to jump in, I guess, we're a nonprofit that's been around since 1974. There was a small collective of diverse Pacific Islander and Asian community leaders who wanted to get together and see how we could collectively strengthen our impact in providing services to the community, and especially behavioral health, because folks wanted to destigmatize mental health, especially in these communities, and make services culturally and linguistically accessible and meaningful for our clients. And since then, we've expanded to quite a lot of programs. Such types of things we help with, in addition to mental health counseling, is opportunities for people to get job training and practice, economic empowerment, addiction treatment and recovery, housing counseling, also like uh, education around health and case management services for families, for youth, for all ages, older adults, cultural competency education, right? I love our HR department, by the way. And not everyone can say that, I suppose. Yeah, so this is just kind of an excerpt from one of our flyers giving a little more description of each of our programs. It's actually taken me a while to really understand the full scope of all the things UPAC can provide. And so I like this breakdown because it's kind of one-liners for each type of service. And our program here in the top right corner, COVID-19 community health workers. We were funded by the county in starting September of last year. And in the beginning, it was just 4 of us, 3 part-time workers and myself. And since then, we've grown to what is 2 programs with up to, like, let's say by hopefully the end of next week, maybe 15, 16 staff. So I'm not the only full-timer, yay. But, we've been creating this program from the ground up, really just trying to fill in gaps when it comes to all the information that's on the county website with COVID resources. We want to make sure that people can benefit from it regardless of the whether they have internet access or whether they speak the languages that are on the website. So we have a lot of different forms of communication that we use. So webinars online such as this, we have relationships with translators and ASL sign language interpreters. We create our own printed educational material about COVID and resources, trying to dispel myths. We also do a lot of in-person conversations because that's turning out to be one of the most effective ways to get people to like think deeply and get that information that they need to make informed decisions about things like vaccines, testing, and kind of accessing various forms of healthcare, right? So for example, we'll do like accompaniment if people want someone to come with them to a COVID testing appointment or a walk-in. We can help them figure out a way to get there, as well as meet them there if they have a need for translation support. So they know all what's going on at their appointment, they can give proper consent. We'll help arrange that. We can also provide assistance over the phone. And the same goes for vaccines as well, vaccinations. We back when there wasn't as much walk-in availability of vaccination sites, we would be able to schedule a lot of folks and talk them through what they can expect, what to look out for in terms of their symptoms, and just kind of give that emotional and logistical support, right? And we're also all over social media too. This is one of our quarter-page printed flyers that we pass out when we're doing like in-person tabling. But as you can see, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we recognize that different parts of our community prefer different forms of communication. If it's based on age, or if a lot of their friends are using one platform or another, and we try to integrate that with messaging that'll really reach folks. I've been talking a lot about us, but here's the slide where you can actually see who we are, right? So a lot of us have the ability to speak multiple languages and also case management experience. Although our program doesn't really have like client list ourselves, we do a lot of warm handoffs because going back to the rest of those UPAC programs, there are clinicians and other credentialed health providers that we can link folks to, and not just within UPAC. If it would be a better fit, depending on the individual, we love to also work with our community partners across the county. So, for example, the pilot project the county created for vaccinations, removing those barriers to access when it comes to vaccine equity. We have partnered with several different organizations to have our community health workers help each other respond to people. So let's see. Anyway, here's more of our contact information. A lot of us, our main hub or depot where we like reload our printed material and our tabling equipment is at in our Golden Hill office. It's also the headquarters of UPAC. There are also like I think 12 different locations where UPAC provides services throughout the county. We're a mobile team as well, so we can drive out to anywhere and provide services wherever county residents need them. Um, the orange link here is our UPAC SD website. And let's see if I can take us to our page, which is currently being revamped. Yay. Can you see that?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm not sure how live this is yet, but I wanted to let folks know that another way y'all can reach us is on this website. It gives a little schedule of where you can find us, where we'll be doing outreach in person and online. As you can see, we like to do Instagram Live, educational sessions, COVID updates from the county and CDC, also giving our own reflections about, you know, like processing being in a pandemic for over a year now, right? And let's see, we have some flyers up. Right now, it just is for mental health, but it's in multiple languages, things to look out for, right? So if people in various organizations, for example, would like us to come and drop off printed materials in whatever language for any COVID relevant topic, we would love to come by and provide that. And all of our services are free. Another cool thing we wanted to show is this, you can fill out on our website any other things that you're interested in. We're open to volunteers, we're open to interns, and we're also hiring for another part-time community health worker. We're looking for someone with deep connections to the community in San Diego that they belong to, and who would love to be more boots on the ground in trauma-informed, accessible way, really engaging in those difficult conversations around COVID. Here is our Instagram. We can also move this out of the way. I wanted to show what our page looks like. We're trying to make our online presence accessible for those who use assistive technology as well. Making sure that, for example, if there's a quote in the image here, we are including it in the text. So we're currently working on that right now. But, we just love these collaborative conversations about like, how do we make everything more inclusive? We have friends that we're talking to who are currently dealing with the school restart issues around, forcing kids to come back in school. But then what does that mean for youth that might have higher risk or be immunocompromised? It's not really fair. So we just love having conversations about that. We're open to having, smaller Zoom webinars and Q&A with any groups upon request. Sorry for the background noise. And yeah, I know that's not like even halfway, but it's kind of like we're always moving and adapting and to the changing circumstances with the COVID updates coming out and requests for assistance. So kind of feel like a firefighter, but like not as cool or maybe not as visible, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I'm also just really interested in any questions that attendees of this webinar have. Uh, um, so I guess we can jump into that, and depending on what we talk about, I can pull up more things. Oh, actually, do you mind if I point out somebody who I believe is here? I'm not sure if she's ready to speak, but it looks like Moana one of our community health workers is on the call.
Sure.
Um, Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, I think that is her. If you'd like to introduce yourself, in terms of like some of the ways that community health workers are involved with education and outreach around COVID resources in our county.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Perfect. I apologize, Dominic. I was multitasking here. What was the question one more time?
So sorry to put you on the spot like that. Just if you could briefly introduce yourself and how you are contributing to the outreach and education efforts of UPAC's community health worker program.
Yeah, sure. So as a community member for the Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander community who was greatly underrepresented and underserved, I sit on various boards. And so in that way, I'm able to be in a position to both listen to what the community needs are, but then to also provide resources. In addition, we're not trying to recreate the wheel. We just partner with events that are already happening so that we can both support the existing event, but also kind of get our information and resources out there. We have also found specifically with the NHPI community that they're a very faith-based community. And so you have to partner with those stakeholders and those community leaders in that arena. And so partnering with faith-based organizations to get the word and the importance out of vaccination has been really helpful. We also disseminated a survey to kind of get folks to let us know what areas need improvement and how to go about providing that improvement. So yeah, and then there's always, you know, the coconut connection with the phone tree. You know, you call somebody and then that person calls two more somebody's, and then pretty soon you've got a network and a coalition. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Maybe I'll screen share again. We're getting a lot of benefit about of participating in collaborative efforts across the county. I guess going back to that, what's it called? The county website. Coronavirus sd.com has so much information on it. But very briefly, one of the things is so when you go to that website, it opens up and it looks like this, right? And there you can find, for example, maps on where your closest testing site is if you wanted to quickly get tested. Their hours and everything is on there, as well as where you can get a vaccination. But over here, community sectors, you see there's all these different like categories, and a lot of them have telebriefings that are at least monthly that give a lot of updates as well. Like to encourage folks to jump on those meetings if they can. Faith-based organizations here, older adult and disability, and their newsletters. So we get updates that about COVID things that are specific to this. Yeah, not reinventing the wheel is a big thing. Right. Let's see. Let me just try something. Community health workers. There's that collaborative of other organizations, community-based organizations that are partnering with the county to do essentially what we're doing here at UPAC. And so these are the logos of the different collaborative partners. Some put on pop-up vaccination events, for example. And you know, churches are a great venue for that, especially in some of the communities we're serving. So, and of course, frequently asked questions are here. And we just love to break down all of these questions for folks. So, okay.
I actually just wanted to ask a couple of questions because the Bridge Project, in large part, serves a lot of families of individuals with disabilities. Um, I noticed on your website under the children and adolescent mental health programs, there's um, there's some verbiage about family and group therapy, there's art therapies, and then there's also a mention of school support. Do you all have any experience when it comes to walking the parents through IEPs, whether that be attending the IEP meeting and translating, or anything in between? Because we find a lot that our parents are kind of just lost in that process, and that's where we hear a lot from our parents, especially in large part the minority groups that we are serving as well. So I just wondered if someone could speak to that a little bit about what you're doing with children and adolescent services.
Yeah, really great question. I know that you are really good at walking through IEPs. And so actually what came to mind is that our team is also very open to getting trained on things so that we can promote services the way that people who that's their wheelhouse want it to be promoted. So we can be kind of an extension of that messaging. I mean, as we do for the county and COVID resources already. So I would totally be down for our team to absorb that capacity to provide that education, because as we're doing, for example, door knocking or making appointments for home visits to kind of triage and give warm handoffs to different things, we can provide a bit of like um, education about what they can expect and um, yeah, I mean, so basically, no, that's not real, like educational, like school-based things. Our other UPAC programs and behavioral health providers who have more ongoing relationships with the client families, we could also probably partner with them in coordinating, assisting your families. Um, and, and I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, we're just kind of like always picking up skills along the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I guess beyond that,
Rory, go
just
ahead.
kind of expand, while
Yeah.
we might not necessarily have trainings in certain areas in which we are open to, if we came across people within our community who needed those services, we most certainly could connect them to other branches within our organizations that definitely do have that experience and do work very closely with the schools in guiding families through those challenging processes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rory. Okay. I don't have any other questions in the chat. What I will do again is make this video replay available. We'd love to also share those slides just so that they can get the clickable links and the contact information to reach out. Um, we can also share that specifically with our Pan Asian community. We can send that directly as a blast via email. I think that would be super helpful just to let them know what you all have available and doing that again. But I do want to thank you all for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And I am so excited about the changes, because I'm split between the project as well as our media and our digital presence, our web design. I get
Wear
super
many hats.
excited, right? But I get super excited when people make those changes. It looks amazing. So I just wanted to make sure I said that. But yes, always happy to have you all, UPAC, and looking forward to seeing everything that you all have coming up. just before we end our webinar, I wanted to make a quick introduction of our new Equity and Access Project Manager. I am so excited that she is here. I am so excited for all of our changes that are coming about. If we could give a COVID clap and welcome to Avon Pays. This hand, don't touch this hand. Avon is waving there if you could see her in your sidebar. So yes, we are so happy to have her. We also have a new community equity and access outreach worker. I don't see her on this morning. She is probably out there reaching the community. Her name is Katie Trist. And so we're super excited for all of, again, our new additions at A Better Life Together, and specifically our Bridge Project team, the Equity and Access Project. So we are looking forward to working further with UPAC in any way that we can partner and work together and share the information and get our communities what they are needing. We're so happy to do that.